Now the topic before us is the building blocks of current account in balance of payments. There are four components of current account in balance of payments, and these are visible items, invisible items, unilateral transfers, and income. We will discuss each of these one by one. First is visible items. What is meant by visible items? Visible items means those things or goods which can be seen and touched. For example, rice, wheat, oil, computers, or all other such items which can be seen. Here, as you already know that this is the form of current account. On one side there is debit and on the other side there is credit. Debit is minus and credit is positive. So here under this head, under the visible heads, visible items, we record export and import of goods. Visible items. Here we record export and import of goods. When we export goods, what happens? When we export goods, we receive foreign exchange. So it is recorded on the credit side, export of goods. When we import goods, what happens? There is inflow of foreign exchange. So these are recorded on the debit side, import of goods. So these are the visible items. That is visible items as already discussed, which can be seen or touched. Further, next point, invisible items. What are the invisible items? Invisible items are those which cannot be seen or touched. The examples of invisible items are transport services. Invisible items are services. The examples of services are banking, insurance, shipping, transportation, etc. The services cannot be seen or touched. Under this head, we record all the transactions related to the export and import of services. This is the current account as already told. Here, we after that invisible item, visible items, we record transactions related to invisible items. When we export services, what happens? Foreign exchange comes in. So these are recorded on export of services. Foreign exchange comes in. So these are recorded on credit side. When invisible items such as services, banking, insurance, services are received from the other countries, what happens? When we import services, what happens? Foreign exchange goes out. So invisible items are recorded on, import of invisible items are recorded on debit side, import of services. Then unilateral transfers. Unilateral transfers are one-time transfers. They are also known as unrequited transfers. Unrequited transfers. Why? Because these transfers are made without the expectation of getting anything in return. These transfers are no quid pro quo. It means quid pro quo means something for something. That is, if we give something to anyone, we get something in return. But these unilateral transfers are no quid pro quo. That is, we do not get anything in return. For example, at if there is a natural disaster in any country, we may send them aid in the form of food, medicines, or even in the form of money. So these are unilateral transfers. If it may also happen that some of our residents are living abroad and they send their money, they send money to their family members in the home country. So these types of transfers are known as unilateral transfers. In the same way, some of the foreigners may be working in our country. They may be sending their money to their families which are residing abroad. So here, under the head unilateral transfers, we take into account all the unilateral transfers which are paid by us abroad or which are received from abroad. How these are entered? These are the visible items, these were invisible, and then comes unilateral transfers. If we make payments of unilateral transfers paid. When we pay, foreign exchange goes out. There is outflow of foreign exchange. So these are recorded on debit side. When we receive unilateral transfers, foreign exchange or money comes in. So unilateral transfers received. It may also happen that sometimes a country may give debt forgiveness. That is, if a country has given loan to some outer world, to any country in the world, and due to certain reasons, it has forgiven the debt as a whole, or it has given its right to take back the debt, then it is called debt forgiveness. Debt forgiveness is also comes under the definition of unilateral transfers. These are also to be taken into account under the head unilateral transfers. Then there comes income. It happens that we may have made investments abroad, that as a country or as individuals we may be having some investments abroad. In the same way, foreign investors might be having some investments domestically. In our country, they might be having made some investments. So when we are having investments abroad, we may be getting some income in the form of rent, dividend, or profits. In the same way, if foreign investors have invested in our country, they may be receiving or they will be getting from our country income in the form of rent, dividends, and profits. So this is the fourth point, which comes under the head debit and credit. Income. If we receive income, then there is inflow of foreign exchange. So income from investments held abroad. It is taken on the credit side because we are getting foreign exchange. Income is coming into our country. So when we make payments made abroad for investments held domestically. Domestically means they have made, foreign investors have made investments in our country, and now they are getting rent, dividend, profit, etc. from our country. So we have to, in other words, we have to make payments to them. So foreign exchange will go out of our country. So in this way, these are the four components, that is export and import of goods, export and import of services or invisible items, unilateral transfers paid or received, income received from abroad, or payments made to foreign investors or investors abroad. Hope you have understood the components of current account very clearly. Now the topic before us is dissecting the long-term implications of current account surpluses and deficits within the balance of payments. We have here formed a table of surplus current account. As you are aware that every country may export certain goods and services and provide the same to the rest of the world, and the said country may also get certain goods and services from the rest of the world. So there is export and import of goods and services between a country and the rest of the world. So we have here taken the hypothetical figures with regard to export and import of goods and services of a country. In the same way, we as a country may have to make some one-time transfers so that we may help the other countries who are in need. Say due to some natural disaster, on humanitarian ground, we may provide some aid to the rest of the world. In the same way, we may receive aid from the rest of the world. We may also receive, that is the individual residents of our country may receive gifts from the rest of the world, and in the same way our residents may be paying certain gifts to the rest of the world. So all these are unilateral transfers, that is either unilateral transfers are received and there are certain occasions when unilateral transfers are paid. So here we have also taken the hypothetical figures with regard to unilateral transfers made and unilateral transfers received. In the same way, we may be having some investments abroad for which our country, or we may be receiving some income from our investments in the shape of dividend, interest, or such like other payments. In the same way, some foreigners might have invested in our country and they may be getting payments for their investments in the form of dividend, profit, and interest. And we have also taken it on a hypothetical figure. So, this is the surplus current account. Why it is surplus? As you know that in the current account or in the balance of payment account, we have to keep transactions as debit side and as credit side. All the transactions which result into inflow of foreign exchange are recorded on credit side, and all the transactions which result into outflow of foreign exchange are recorded on the debit side. So now what we observe from these figures, that total of exports, what is the total of exports? It is 6,100. This is export. What is import? It is 5,000 plus 200, 5,200 import. So what we observe from these figures, that exports are more than imports. Overall, when we do the total of debit and credit transactions, all these transactions, we observe that as a whole, the country is receiving 8,200 US dollars as inflow of foreign exchange due to all these transactions, export, unilateral transfers, and income. And on the other side, the country is making payments abroad. That is, there is outflow of foreign exchange to the tune of 7,300. That is, current receipts are more than payments. Receipts are more. That is, 8,200 is more than 7,300. So, what is the balance? Balance is, balance in current account is 8,200 minus 7,300. So 900 is the balance. That is, it is a surplus current account. That is, inflow is more to the tune of 900. So it is a current account balance which is positive. It is a surplus current account. What we observe from this surplus current account, what does it indicate? It indicates that the country is net exporter, because exports are more. It is a net exporter. It is a competitive economy, because when we do exports, there are other countries in the world also who may be exporting the same goods. Suppose we are exporting rice, there may be also many countries in the world who may be ready or who may be doing the export of rice, but we are able to do this export to the tune of 6,100 or 6,000 if we talk about only rice, because our exports are competitive. We are selling at competitive price in the international market. So what is the net result? That surplus current account indicates that the country is net exporter. The economy is competitive. What other figures it may show? It may show that surplus current account may show that we are receiving more income from investments held abroad than the payments we are making to abroad for their investments held domestically. So now surplus current account indicates that on the whole the country is a net exporter. It is exporting more than it imports. It is strong and competitive economy. It is receiving more income from abroad, and surplus current account also indicates that the country is a net creditor. How a net creditor? You have seen that here the figures of credit are more and the figures in debit side are less. So what it means, that the country is a net creditor to the rest of the world in terms of its current account transactions. The surplus typically means generally indicates accumulation of foreign currency reserves. When we are receiving more foreign exchange than the foreign exchange which is being paid, foreign exchange received is more as compared to the foreign exchange which is going out. So it means it may generally lead to accumulation of foreign currency reserves which can be used by our country for stabilizing the exchange rate. Stabilizing the exchange rate, investing abroad, and managing debt. It is possible that any specific component of current account may have individual deficits. What it means? But overall credit side is more than debit side. You have seen that here credit side in total is more than debit side, but individual item may be less. Here you can see that although overall the exports are more, overall the exports of goods and services are more than the import as a whole, but here the export of services is less than import is more. Import of services is 200 whereas export of services is 100. So it is quite possible that an individual item in the current account may be in deficit, but overall as a whole credit is more than debit. While a surplus can be seen as a positive indicator, it is not always ideal position. A large and persistent surplus can sometimes lead to deflation, currency appreciation, and hinder domestic economic growth. Now we come to the another point, deficit current account. What it means? It means that we are there is outflow of foreign exchange is more, outflow of foreign exchange is more, whereas we are receiving less foreign exchange due to export and import, unilateral transfers, and income. In the shape of all these transactions we are receiving less as compared to what we are giving out. From here the given figures you can see that here the credit items are less. Here debit is debit is more than credit. In other words, outflow of foreign exchange is more than inflow of foreign exchange. So what this deficit current account shows? It shows, here we have filled the hypothetical figures so that you may understand what is the meaning of deficit current account. So here what is the balance in this current account? How it is reflected that it is a deficit current account? Credit minus debit. What happens? Or we can say that receipts minus payments. 6,400 minus 8,200. What is balance? This is balance minus 1,800 US dollars. This is the balance. So here the figure is being reflected as minus. It shows deficit current account. Now what this deficit current account shows? This shows that the country is net importer. That is, it is importing more in comparison to its exports. It also shows that the country is a poor or a developing country. It also shows that the country is receiving less income for investments held abroad in comparison to the payments which it has to made abroad for investments held by foreign investors domestically. Now, this deficit current account as a whole also shows that the country is a net debtor. Here you have seen that debit entries are more. So here the deficit current account indicates that the country is a net debtor to the rest of the world in terms of its current account transactions. Now, when there is deficit, that is outflow is more. How it will be met out by the government of the country? So that deficit generally leads to increased reliance on foreign borrowing. So more loans have to be taken from foreigners, and difficulty and there is difficulty in managing external debt burden. It is possible that any specific component of current account may have individual credit, but overall debit is more than credit side. But it means that as a whole imports are more in comparison to exports. Or if we go through all the items on the debit side or credit side, as a whole debit is more than credit as a whole. But there may be some individual items where credit is more. Here you can see that credit is more in respect of services, whereas debit side import of services is less. So as a whole, debit current payments are more in comparison to receipts, but there may be some individual items also, or single item or two items, where there may be credit side more. A large and persistent deficit in current account can sometimes lead to currency depreciation, inflation, continuous rise in external debt when we have to make more and more payments outside, so that as our imports are more and we have to make payments, our exports are less, so we may have to resort to external debt. It may continuously rise, and a large and persistent deficit in current account may also lead to lower economic growth, as limited resources are available for domestic investment, as no money is left for making investments in infrastructure, education and technology. Thanks for watching. If you like our course, please spare some time to give a star rating to our course.